Alright, welcome to the first video of 2023. It's kind of a different video and kind of a different spot, but it's still the same place as before. It's just maybe 8 feet east and 4 feet south of where I normally film. So, well, here we are with my Y2K computer build. This has been a project that has been going on ever since I picked up the motherboard and processor at Axeman for $5.95 in as-is condition. I threw a power supply that I just had laying around on it, and it seemed to power up just fine, so I thought, well, why not gather some more parts, and let's build a Y2K PC. And the project it went smoothly, and then it didn't due to some reasons that I still haven't really figured out. But this video is just kind of going to be a rundown of the project and where it's at. This isn't a project that I've really featured aside from when I first got the motherboard. And I think it would be a neat little, like, video kind of like base change or whatever. And if you notice, my production quality has been a little better. It's because I got a new phone, therefore a new camera, and phones have changed a lot since 2018, and yeah, here I am in 2023. So anyways, let's do a rundown of what I have thrown on this system. First, let's start with things that are going to be on the outside. Now I'm going to have to choose between this 2004 flat screen 4x3 monitor or this old 1997 IBM CRT. Both of these I found as street finds about 2 blocks apart from each other on totally separate occasions, but this is starting to have kind of a weak CRT, unfortunately. Otherwise I'd totally go with this, but I think for heavy usage I'm going to probably go with this just because this is going to last longer, but that's cooler, trust me. As for a keyboard, I have this old 1990 something. It's NMB brand Windows Ready keyboard that I found at a thrift store. And I mean, this thing is heavy. This thing's really heavy. It's got a old school warning about getting cramps from too much typing. Kind of like the way that this thing sounds. I think it's really fitting for at least the monitor. If I had a beige box computer like case, I think it would be really cool looking all together with the monitor. But yeah, the F7 key is like highlighted and taped down. I don't know what program was using the F7 key that heavily, but I mean, I guess this was for a specific thing. Something neat about this monitor is that you can't really see it aside from like maybe a box like that around here, but there's screen burn of the Windows 4.0 NT server launch screen. So this was part of an old server, this IBM monitor, which I think is really cool. I don't know why the startup launch screen or whatever has the screen burn in the monitor, but I don't know, I guess they were restarting the system a lot. But that's really cool. Early old school system. Around to the back here. June of 97. Built-in VGA cable, so it's not an extremely high-end monitor, but it's got a removable power cable, so that's nothing to cry home about either. Moving that aside, this is the box. A bunch of different parts. Oh, here's a phone in there for some reason. Old Motorola. Forget what that thing is called, but it's not the normal PCI or whatever. 9833, 33rd week of 98. That's a sound card with a microphone and a dial-up modem. Mounting brackets. Old groovy late 1990s, early 2000s marble mouse. You just kind of move your hand around on that and it moves it around the screen. I've used this mouse as a daily mouse for a really long time, and I really like it. So, and I think it's just kind of that weird 90s early internet, you know, that kind of whole aesthetic that really kind of fits, I guess, the case with the, even the color scheme is kind of the same. Old sound card. Audio PCI. This one's, I think, from 97. This will be my main sound card because it's got a controller port on it too, and it has a microphone. It has line in and out. Up here you have ports for a CD player, along with some other stuff. Right here you have extremely cheap modem card. Bottom of the bin for probably 1999 to 2004 even. Let's see if it has a date on it. Not very visible, but it says 0501. So that's either the first week of 95 or the 5th week of 01. And with this card, I'd believe either one. It's kind of a weird thing too, but it fits right into the standard slots. Other than that, USB floppy. I don't even know if that's compatible with this. Couple power cables, VGA cable, and my operating system that I'm going to be throwing on this. Borrowed this from a friend. Windows XP Home Edition, version 2002. Now I know that wasn't around in 99 to 2000. You know, it came out in 01, but that's fine. This system is really kind of optimized for XP usage, kind of a mid-range XP machine. That's just what I'm going to go with. Plus, I grew up with XP, so I know my way around XP really well. So that's what I'm going to be using. Originally, I wanted 98, but then I was on a server, and I was notified that this system is way too powerful for 98. Like, way too powerful for 98. So, yeah. Next up is this Thermaltake case. This is a pretty high-end case back in 2002. It's date stamped either June or July something of 2002. I like the case. I picked it up at a local computer store for only 40 bucks. And it came with this. It did not come with the disk drive or a floppy drive, even though it would have had one. But does its job. It's got indicator lights for power and then hard drive usage. Two 3.5-inch floppy style things, which you're supposed to mount a hard drive in one of them. So that's, I guess, just what I've done. And then I'll probably find somewhere else for the hard drive and put a floppy and one of those like floppy drive things that has like USB and SD cards on it, just because I want compatibility. Because, yeah, I just want compatibility. Here's one of those weird little fan speed controller things. I haven't really got this working, but it's got FireWire and 2 USB, probably like 1.0 ports. Low, medium for some reason over there, and high all the way across. Don't ask me why. But it's got a screen on it, which is kind of cool. And that's not hooked up to anything right now, like I said. I don't know if it works. I didn't want to disturb this since this is how it came. That's the wire for it. I don't know where that's supposed to go on the board, so I'm just not going to worry about it. Plus, I don't care about my fan speeds. They can just always run at 100%. Here's a Hewlett-Packard CD writer Plus 9300 series compact disc recordable rewritable drive with volume and headphone jack. Boy, those were the days. This would have come out of a computer probably like what the motherboard was originally for, which was a circa 98, 99 HP machine. And this drive is dated, I think, like November of 98 or something. I don't know. I could go back and look, but I really liked this drive. I could have picked from a lot of drives that were, a little bit cheaper. This drive was pretty cheap though, and I just really liked it. The whole textured design up there, and just like the late 90s-ness of all of that. And these clip things so you can easily remove drives. I like that. And eventually I'm going to fill this all with drives. Probably like a DVD drive, maybe some sort of like 5 1/4 inch drive. I don't even know if that's compatible, but it would look cool in there, and that's what I like. This case is in like mint condition. Fan intake along here. Original Thermaltake fans all around. Lots of different fans. Hard drive, old Thermaltake sticker, and just kind of a mess of wires. I haven't cable managed this because I'm not done with it. So let's go inside. But not without going to the back first, because we're not done with that. There's like a 2012 Thermaltake 430 watt power supply that I have for this. I think 430 watts should be enough. I'm not going to be running like CAD programs on this. So yeah, that should be good. And it's from 2011, so it's not 25 years old, about to blow up in my face. Down here we have nothing fancy, just 2 PS2 ports, 2 USB, serial and IO style stuff. No integrated graphics, even though this motherboard could have had a Riva TNT from NVIDIA in it. It does not. 2 purple and orange fans. No IO shield. I don't have one for it. I could probably find one though. Down here we have our graphics card, which has, I'll get to that in a bit. It has VGA and S-Video. Some of these are missing, but that's okay because I have 3 cards that can go in here, so I'll have a surplus of these covers, if anything. Alright, and here we are on the inside of the case. Don't mind the loose fans, rubber bands, and just kind of messiness of everything. Like I said, the motherboard came off of like a 98 or 99 HP, kind of mid-range. I guess pretty high-end for 98 or 99 machine. It has a brand new, or what would have been a brand new Pentium 3 650 megahertz processor. I think I have 256 megs of RAM. I thought I had 512, but both of those sticks are 128 each, I believe. There's that Thermaltake power supply up there. I got this, ooh, wow. The eBay seller that I got this drive from, I'm shooting with a 0.5 times lens on this. New old stock, 2004 Max Tor. I think it's a 80 gigabyte drive. I actually have 2 of them, and they, I think, are probably the root of my problem that I'm having with this system. It's getting now OS on it. There's some more fans. Those are the intake ones, like how I mentioned on the front. We have a NVIDIA GeForce 4, I believe, which is dated 2002, I think, or maybe 2004, depending on how you read the date code, but it's 0204, so 4th week of 02 or 2nd week of 04. Either way, it doesn't really matter. It's a nice GPU that kind of fits in with this. It's pretty high-end compared to the other stuff, but it works with the system, and that's just what I want. I just want a nostalgia computer, if anything. Alright, so I guess maybe I should get to my problem that I'm having with this. I can get successfully with my borrowed copy of XP, I can successfully get all the way to partitioning the drive, and then I try to partition the drive, and it loads with no activity. It doesn't do any percentage. It loads for about maybe 4 seconds, and then it says drive could not be partitioned. And I have 2 of these hard drives. Both were made, one was made in July of 04, and the other one, I think this one was made in December of 04. New old stock. they do the same thing. Each of them do the same thing. And I don't know if that's some sort of like, YouTube's probably going to take down my video. Don't worry, YouTube, this isn't being used in the bad way, but I don't know if that's like a master and slave switch thing that I have, because these two share a IDE cable, like this one here, the disk drive, which I use to load the program on, and the hard drive share an IDE cable. And I don't know if I'm doing the whole master slave thing right. I think I might have the disk drive on master and the hard drive on slave. I'll look real quick, just so I'm for sure on that. There's no jumper in the hard drive, and the disk drive is set to slave. I think originally I had the hard drive set to master, and it did the same thing. I don't know if I've tried slave and master, though, so I don't know. I don't know if any of that matters either. I'm not used to building computers. All of my knowledge is just from Googling it and figuring it out. I haven't done anything risky, or at least I don't think I have, but yeah. But that's the problem that I'm having with it, and that's kind of where I've been at since maybe July with this whole project. It's just kind of sat down here, and I really want to use it because it's got so many cool things, like that old GeForce 4 and the Pentium 3 card slot CPU. Oh man, I don't know. This would be kind of my only computer of this era too, because I've got a couple old Compaq and NEC computer from both are from like the mid 80s, but those work just fine. But this I just want something from like the late 90s, early 2000s, that era of computing, about 25 years ago. Yeah, that's where I'm at, if I haven't said that enough. If you, the viewer, have any idea on how to fix that problem, you are very welcome to do so. But I was talking around on Discord, and it sounds like something that I should do is I should get a Intel 330 series SSD off of eBay, which will save a lot of space. And don't worry, that's a old SSD, probably from 2000 something. It uses SATA, but along with that, a SATA to IDE adapter. Maybe trying that, because I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if both these hard drives got wrecked in the mail, because they came from the same distributor, went through the same shipping like system process. There's the word. And they both don't work. They do the same thing. And there's no activity from the hard drive showing up on the LED. I don't hear anything spinning or clicking in here. And it seems like this thing's just got no activity going on it right now. And I want to change that. And I don't care if I use an SSD. It's just going to mean that it's faster. Even if it doesn't mean that even if that means that I don't get the old school hard drive, like clicking noises. That's part of the fun with these old systems. But if I have to kill that joy factor for a working system, then I'm totally willing to do that. Like I said before, time and time again, I just want something that works. But yeah, I mean, if anybody knows kind of what to do about this, please let me know, and I'll go right ahead and do that. And I'll make content from this thing once it works. I'll do, I don't know, that Cooper guy on YouTube who makes YouTube videos straight out of 2007. Maybe I'll do some Windows XP solitaire gameplay videos on this. Wouldn't that be entertaining? It's pretty much all I'm going to do on is play solitaire. Other Space Cadet Pinball. There's one. I've also got a lot of software from going back to the Windows 95 era to XP era. And that's kind of what I want to use with this. All on disk, too. And I can make it work on a modern computer, but this is just kind of... This is where it's at for running programs of that age. Anyways, I hope the new production quality is up to par. I got to get my tripod and microphone. I'm just using the built-in microphone and I'm not using a tripod, which is a bit of a change for me recently, but that's fine. But anyways, with that, thank you for watching, and I'll see ya.